I'm so excited to have our dear friend Lady Prada on here. Super excited.
Hey.
So how's everyone?
Uh,
First and foremost, I wanna say that I want to send prayers to you and your family. Um, and hope your mom is doing okay. That's the first.
Thank you. Apology. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's a waiting time. I think that's the worst when when you have to wait for a diagnosis. It's just the worst.
Yeah, and I
But
mean,
you know what I say, God always is in control. So, right,
yep. Let go, let
but
God.
is everyone welcome in. Thank you for hopping on today's live. Sorry we're starting a little bit late. We're not always going to start on time. Things happen. We are on two different time zones, so
And
something always is probably going to come up. But welcome to Wisdom of Mind podcast.
Gonna go ahead and well, today's subject, y'all, is, you all know, it's on judgment. And we all get judged in every sense of type of way. I think there's always been people, look at you and have their own persona of you or whatever. But I mean, even as a female, male, gender, whatever it is, we all have gotten judged. But the thing is, we can't always judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? You never know what person that you're judging. As for me, I've always gotten judged for different things because I'm quiet. I'm not quiet. You guys probably said, no, you're not. But I like to observe people. So as I say, as being quiet, meaning like, I like to observe what kind of person you are. You know what I mean? So I stay quiet and I just, if I'm in a crowded area or if I'm at a party or if I'm at, around people, I really don't like to mingle until I know who I'm mingling with. You know what I mean? So a
yeah.
lot of people tend to come to say I tend to come off very strong. I tend to come off very meanish, but once they get to know me, they know I'm a whole vibe. So, but it sucks that people get judged all the time. Kids in school get judged. They get judged by color, race, everything, gender, sexuality. People get judged all the time, and that's the world of corruption that we live in. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different, things that people go through. And, you have to understand that people go through things, and you have to understand that by judging them and tearing down who they are, you never know what they're going through. So, I don't know. You want to deliberate a little bit on this? Cause I'm just in a
Sure.
I'm in a whole nother space, you guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm just in a whole different space right now, and so my whole mind is combobulated with some other stuff, and I'm trying to be out here, doing the best that I can. But go ahead, Lady Prada. What you got to say, ma'am? How's your day?
So I think I think, everyone inherently judges people. You judge somebody the moment you see them, and it may not necessarily be like malicious judging, but, you're like, oh, okay, it's observing, I guess, that person has dark hair, or that person looks Latino, or that person looks whatever, we see somebody and we automatically, kind of come to a couple of things. But where it gets to me, so growing up, I've always had a weight problem. And I was athletic at times, so I was thinner, and then I was bigger, and I got made fun of relentlessly.
Wow.
I mean, it was awful. Like, school was a nightmare. Kids are mean.
Yeah.
And so that, has been something that I have had to kind of fight in my own mind my whole life. Because there have been times when I've been, in amazing shape, and I still see the fat girl that everybody makes fun of and everybody laughs at and that goes home crying from school.
Right.
So, I think that there's kind of like that. And then, I don't know, like being a female in hip hop, I'm being judged right now based on my age. I'm being told that I'm too old to
Mhm.
be a rapper. And I'm like, well, that's only because, the Eminems, the Snoops, the Dre's, they are the first generation to have an actual rap career, an entire career, and, see what it looks like. So, but the young kids, Gen Z, they love the ageism card. So, I'm an old lady, that's fine.
Right.
But
Hey, we're never too old to do anything we want to do. Sky's the limit, regardless
Mhm.
of your age. You know what I mean? There's no age.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no age day on career or things that you want to achieve in life and goals and and things like that. So by people saying that you're too old because of you're in the industry, that's straight wrong. They shouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm for it. I'm
Mhm.
with you. I'm gonna support you. I think I love it. So
Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely.
You both
You
are so
definitely got
supportive, and
some.
I really appreciate it.
thank
Yeah, and
you.
I think that we have to keep that positivity with everything we do, especially supporting other people. I mean, that's my forte, honestly, supporting other people. I don't like the not
Hmm.
supporting, I mean, it's so easy that if you don't like something, just keep scrolling, don't address it. But
Right.
people have the need to address things even if they don't if I don't like it, I'm going to address it. Oh, I don't like it. I have the need to say something, and I feel like that's an insecure person. That's a person that is probably going through stuff themselves, and they're trying to portray their
Yeah.
hurt on someone else, which I think it comes a lot from immaturity. So yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about supporting others. So yes,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
love the support that you give as well.
Yeah,
So
all the time. And,
yeah,
like I said, with this day and age, we have social media. So there's people judged all the time. I ran into people that have so many people that come on here and tell people. I've never been personally in a live. I've just talked to people that came into the live. I mean, came in and had conversation with them. And they've had said like, hey, I just got told I'm ugly or I'm old or I should just go bare. That is so mean. I've never been
Yeah.
in a live that's done that. I don't like that kind of stuff. But why are you judging somebody? Social media is an open, freely place where anybody can do what, be on here, if you want to. And you're judging somebody by the book of its cover is wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, I
yeah,
think we have a lot of key.
Go
I
ahead.
think we have a lot of keyboard warriors now at this point because a lot of the stuff, a lot of the comments people will make on somebody else that they don't know's content. It's like, would you really say that to their face? And the
Right.
answer is nine
100%.
times out of ten, no, they're
no,
not going to say it to
no,
your face. And, but they feel like they're protected because they're behind a keyboard. They're anonymous. They don't care if, their TikTok account gets shut down because they're just going to make another one to keep trolling people. And
correct.
it's insanity.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's totally true.
most people won't confront you in real. I mean, that's why they say they hide behind a screen, and that is so accurate. You can say anyone can be whoever they want in the internet. That's what people don't understand. People can say whatever
Right.
they want on the internet without facing that other person. But are you really hurting that other person? I always tell Christina, I don't give people that much power over me. I really don't.
Mm.
I mean, if you have to say something, if you don't like my content, if you don't like what I'm doing, and you say something negative, I'm really not going to give you that energy. I'm really not. Because,
Right.
I mean, if you felt the need to do that, yeah, I don't need people like that in my life. So,
Yeah. And we talk about things a lot and like they say, like she always says, there's always three sides to the story.
yes,
Yours, his, and the truth. You know what I mean? Until it all comes
Yeah.
out and there's receipts and y'all come out and say the whole truth and nothing but the truth in front of each other, then hey, say what you want. But yeah.
right.
But that's and then there it goes again. So when you get people saying certain things or whatever's going on in their own story of their own persona about you, and then you go and have everybody else thinking the same thing, that's where it goes to judgment. Like, if you don't really know me, then don't judge me. You know what I mean? Until you do know me.
Right.
And if you do know me and you're still judging me, then you know what I
It's
mean?
what it's a
You have
false
a problem.
narrative. That's what it is. Is
Yeah, it's
they're creating a false narrative, and these people really don't know who you are. They really don't know the real you. They're just creating
Right.
chaos, and their lives are probably so boring. They create false narratives to speak on other people, and I think that's so immature. And who has time for it? I mean, we're all grown here. I don't have time for that. I
Well,
work
it's
8
like,
hours a day. I come home. I don't, who has time for that? Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I'm not sure if you ladies saw the post that I had done on the Busta Rhymes shamed us
Hmm.
thing. So
Yes.
that was initially, okay, I was, I was high, was having a good time, whatever, but that was meant for my friends, right? I never saw that like blowing up. And I just thought it would be amusing to the people who know me because they know I'm a rapper. They know that I'm not just gonna, sit down, but now I'm chair girl, which is funny. But like, the fact that that exploded and everybody, was just lighting into me about, how I should have never been at a rap concert. And obviously, I don't know Busta Rhymes and this and that. And it's like, you know nothing about me. And you're just making a
Hmm.
judgment based off this one video you've seen that, again, was made for my friends because I thought they'd get a kick out of it.
Right.
And, somehow there we are. So crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people judge on things they don't know anything about.
Right.
And when I
Mm-hmm.
did that post earlier that week where I said people judge you on your looks, on what you're wearing, that is 100% true. People judge me all the time. Even if I'm in the store, I've had so many people bump into so many people speaking Spanish about me, and I'm there just standing in line, just smiling because I understand what they're saying. You're judging
Right.
me because I look white, and you think I don't understand what you're saying, and I'm like, oh, I understand what you're saying in Spanish, and people just their faces drop.
I love
So
it. I love when I
be,
do that to people.
yeah, so so being
Yeah.
judged is like I'm the main one being judged for my looks or whatever it is that there are other things that they're judging me for.
You
But
know,
yeah.
Well,
going
and that's it.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Oh, okay. I
thinking
was just
back
going
to
to say,
like
like, I know.
sorry.
You
No, I'm
go.
like
You go.
going back to content. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing. People judge on why just because somebody posts the content doesn't always mean that it's about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, dude, you
No.
just post content just to do it. Whatever's trending, whatever's going on, but it doesn't have to be about a specific damn person. And that's what gets me. You know what I mean? Like all my content has nothing to do with nobody. And that's 100%. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
if you take it offensive and you think it does, that's on you. You
If
that's
the
your
shoe
problem.
fits, then wear it. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
Right.
If you
Maybe
exactly.
think
you
it's
need to
about,
look at yourself.
well,
Reevaluate
listen,
yourself.
if you think the post is about you, then maybe it is. That's what it
Right.
is. I mean, you if
Well,
you think it's about
and
you,
the
it is.
universe talks. And the universe talks also. So, maybe you weren't actually posting about me, but something you said, triggered whatever, I might just be going through right now.
Hmm.
And I'm like, like I feel like that's the universe. But yeah, people get
Yeah.
all in their feelings. And it's like, I wasn't even talking about you. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know why we're
Correct.
making a big deal out of this.
Right.
So,
And
Correct.
honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't have to explain nothing to anybody. You know what I mean? And I've learned that like, I don't have to, I'm not going to come on social media and make a fool of myself and just argue and rant and rage about anything. You know what I mean?
right.
It's just not what I'm gonna do. So if like whatever I post and it affects anybody and they take it the wrong way, then hey, evaluate yourself. Don't evaluate my post and don't evaluate and judge me for what I've done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
100%. I totally agree with you, Christina.
No, that's for
And
real. That
sometimes,
is for real. And
yes.
but back to when you were in school, how did you deal with that? I mean, I understand like, that was a lot to go through to be judged on your weight and stuff like that.
It was. And it's funny because I look back at pictures now, I wasn't even that big, but I
Yeah.
wasn't the skinny girl, right? Like,
Hmm.
and it was just hard. I would go home crying. I remember, I want to say I was maybe 7 or 8. And our next door neighbors, they were in the army, and the wife, they both were in the army. She was a nurse. And there had been some commercial on TV during the daytime that had talked about, this revolutionary way to speed up your metabolism so that you lose weight quickly. And I remember being a 7-year-old and going and asking my next door neighbor about this, like, will this work for me? At
Wow.
7.
Wow.
Why? Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
it
put
was
yourself
That's
tough.
a
like
lot.
the last thing to worry about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's like it stays with me. Even, even if I feel pretty, I can take a picture at the wrong angle, and we all know what the wrong angle does. Woo! You go from looking, fab to, oh my God, who is that?
Right?
So,
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's a
100%.
struggle still.
And with you being in the industry, I know you talked about people judging you as, being older and all that stuff. And how do you fight those obstacles? Like, what makes you still be focused and saying, this is what I want to do, regardless of what people think of me and what people, their persona they have of me? What is it that keeps you focused and saying, I'm not going to give up?
I want to marry Eminem. That keeps me focused.
Eminem. I
No,
can't.
so rap for me is very therapeutic. So writing things out, I go through a situation like, I've written probably 5 or 6 songs since, Tuesday with my mom and everything. So it's like, it's just, that's how I'm able to communicate, because I can't always communicate my feelings in the best way, one-on-one or whatnot, but I can through music. And so it keeps me going, because it's like I feel this burning need to do it. When I'm away from working on music too long, I start to feel unbalanced almost. It's like there's something in me that's just constantly calling and saying, we need to do this. Because also, I come from the age of where you had Snoop, who first came out, you had Dre, you had Pac, Biggie, all the
Okay,
storytellers
easy.
in rap. Easy E, yes, like all of it, all of it. And so, that was the generation of rap that I came up with. And that was what I really loved, was the storytelling aspect. And so I've tried to, make sure that that is kind of how I do it, with my songs, because the idea that, maybe somebody who's going through something similar might pick up on something I've said, just like the post. It may not be about them, but maybe it resonates with them. And if it can help
Yeah.
them get through something or make them feel less alone, then, that's worth it right there.
Right. That's
That's
good.
great. That's awesome. And how do you get, so my question is for you is, now as a female rapper, how do you get, like, you get judged as a female rapper today, like how does that affect you as a person and as a rapper?
So I used to rap under my real name. Excuse me. And I've been rapping for probably 11, 12 years at this point. So I rapped under my real name. And it was just basically, all my friends that would see it. It was on YouTube, but I'd, get views from friends. I was on Facebook, and that was it. And that was fine. And then my producer V and I kind of created this Lady Prada persona.
Mm-hmm.
And the first song I released, so, back when I was rapping under my real name, everybody always complimented me, in the songs, right? It was always like, oh, that's great. You did a great job. When I
Yeah.
got on TikTok and I released the first Free Verse Friday, which was Mockingbird, I was torn to shreds.
Wow.
They
Wow.
annihilated me. They told
Wow.
me, unrelease it, kill yourself. This is trash. How dare you? I was hoping, because I also did it while I was in the car driving, like I did one of those videos. I was hoping she would crash, horrible things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
people
yeah.
are saying. And so I remember, I started crying. Like, I've never had anybody hate my music like that. Like, it
Yeah.
was such a shock to
Wow.
me. And so I ended up talking to 40 Glock, who, is a good friend of mine. It's been in the business for a long time. V, my producer, and just other people in the business. And they're all like, listen, this is going to start happening more and more, basically. Like, you just have to have a thick skin. And since that point, I haven't given a fuck. Pardon my language.
Wow.
But
Yeah. Good
I
for
just don't care
you.
anymore. You don't like it? Don't listen. You feel like making a shitty
Right.
comment? I'm not even going to acknowledge you, because I don't care.
Right.
So that's how I
That is right.
try.
No, I can
That's
totally relate
great.
to that. The same thing, and that's glad you got, that's good that you got a support system that you can run back to and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and that they give you
Yeah.
that advice, because there's been times, girl, I had to go to Latina and be like, she's like, nope, just think about it now. You know what I mean? You're going to get hated on no matter what. You know what I mean?
Right.
Start to
Yeah,
learn how to get that thick skin and just ignore what people say about you, ignore what they're saying about you. Keep it
yeah.
pushing. We got better things that we're working on, that, you know what I mean? And as
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we grow and as we go through these things and get bigger, it's going to get worse. You know what I mean? And it's true,
Yeah.
and
It is.
so that's what like I said, I'm learning to have that thick skin without having to get me out of character, because there's been times I wanted to just come on here and just get out of character. But, like I said, she was a good support system where I would call and say, look, this is what's going on. And she said, nope, we're going to keep our cool and be classy, because that's what we do, and forget what
Mm-hmm.
everybody
Yep.
else says. You know what I mean? And let them talk. So, I'm glad that you have that support system too, that was able to lift your spirit and lift you up to where, hey, I'm going to keep going on and doing what I do. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
definitely. I'm all
it's
about it.
great. Yeah, having a support system is, just so important. And like you, I don't want to act out of character, but there are definitely times when, I get on and I feel like acting out of character.
No,
So
No, that
we
is
I'm
all
like,
do a bunch
true.
of
ooh.
times.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine me telling her, "Oh, relax. Let's take a break." It's not good to get out of character because that's what people usually want you to do. So then
That's
they'll
what they want.
yeah, so they'll say, "Oh, look at her. She's acting crazy." So I usually
Yep.
tell her, "Calm down. It's going to get worse as we progress." So I tell her, "Just dismiss it. Really, there are people that speak on you that don't know you really don't matter." I mean, so yeah, there's times
Right.
where I want to get out of character too, but I'm a little more composed and laid back. I could care less.
I'm a
I'm very
hothead.
unbothered. Yeah, you
I am
are.
too, but like I
She
said,
is
before I
too.
react, I go to her and I'm like, look, this is, and I'm just, and she's like, no. And so, that's why I think we're like, we balance each other out, because I
Yes.
think if I didn't have
Yeah.
her as that balance, then I would probably done went crazy already.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I
but I
hear
Yes.
that.
mean,
It's definitely a good balance because,
Yeah.
girl, sometimes we want to get out of character and be like, wait a minute,
Woo.
I'm going to go on here and I'm going to tell you a piece of my mind. Like,
mm,
literally, I
Yep.
will probably make you cry. So, well, we don't want to
Yep.
go there. We don't want to go there because we keep it classy, we keep it professional. We're building a brand. And like I tell her,
Yeah.
we are building a brand and people are going to hate no matter what. Whether you're doing good or you're doing
Yep.
bad, people are going to hate. So let's just keep doing what we're doing and that's it. And let those people
And that's
talk.
And that's the thing, is that you are never going to be able to please everybody.
No.
Somebody is always going to hate what you do. And the bigger you get, like you all are seeing, with your podcast that you're doing, the
Hmm.
more haters come. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you know what? Now I'm like, bring on the haters. That means I'm doing
Yeah.
something right. So,
Yeah.
because it's people who are jealous saying, you don't deserve all that attention. Why are you all getting that attention? I don't get
Hmm.
that kind of attention. And it's like, well, maybe if you started your own podcast, maybe if you, became a rapper or a musician or, something, you'd get that attention.
Yeah.
right.
Of
And that's what a
course.
lot of I think it comes down to is there's
Hmm.
people out there that don't have that ambition to do some of the things that other people do, and the jealousy comes in. But I mean, that's just the world we live in, and we have to
Yeah.
realize that this world is corrupted with all different kinds of BS and mindsets. So you know what I mean, and that's just something we're gonna have to deal with, and it's gonna get worse. And this girl was like, "Well, congratulations." She's like, you're
You
like, and you
finally
were just
made
laughing.
it.
I was like,
You have
but
made it. If people
It's a
are
good
talking
thing.
about you, yeah, if people are talking about you, you've made it. Congratulations.
and I left
Yeah,
it off, I guess.
exactly.
Exactly.
Like,
People are
love it
not
or
talking
hate it, you're
about
still,
me. People are not talking about me, so I haven't made it yet. But soon. Soon,
oh, you've made it. You've made it.
I will.
Yeah. So I
Don't
have
worry.
another question
I'll
for
get
you.
that guy. Huh?
No, go
No,
ahead.
I
I'll
don't
finish
want
mine.
that.
I was gonna say
No.
I'll get him to, hate on you, and you could have your first hater.
No, I get hate. Trust me, I get hate on YouTube. I get hate, but I don't, and not really like bad hate. It's just like that comment. They were like, "Oh, you're just a basic TikTok mom." First of all, you know nothing about my life. Um,
What?
and yeah, I don't answer. I just be laughing, honestly. If only people knew, that just makes me laugh. So
Yeah. Like
I don't
I
really
get
go
on
on it.
YouTube kids saying this is what happens when your mom's in a minivan rapping or something. Like, all right.
Oh, stop.
The comments is
Like,
what the things people say to make themselves irrelevant is what makes me so
Yeah,
laugh.
to make
You know what I
themselves
mean?
relevant.
To
yeah.
the things you come up with, you know what I mean? And like I said, if you don't got receipts and you can't come with real receipts, because those are proof. None of
Yep.
this,
Yep.
none of this talking. You know what I mean? Come with receipts, and then we'll talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Don't come to me if you don't
Wow.
have receipts. And
And
yeah.
that's what I don't get too is like not only the people that are talking, it's the people that are listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
That's a
just
whole
as bad. The
that's a
people that
whole
are
different
listening to stop
vibe.
and the ones that are not the ones to say, wait a minute, stop. I don't want to hear it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It takes a
you
bigger
know,
person to do that though. It takes a bigger person to do that. If I'm in a live and people are talking about a certain individual, it could be about anyone, and I'll be like, I'll just exit my way out, honestly, because I don't want to be
Yeah.
no, I don't want to be a part of it. Like that's just messy. It's super messy, and you don't have the whole story. You're just saying your version of it. So
Right.
why don't you talk about it when that other person is present? So like that you both can say your versions and then let people decide rather, wait a minute, I believe her and not her. And she came with receipts
Yeah.
and she didn't come with receipts, or he, whatever the case may be, she or he. But yeah, I
Yep.
definitely exit my way out. I'm not about that life.
like when I was
Yeah.
on your live, Lady Prada, and you just came out with receipts, like,
Yeah.
and you can come in. I see you watching from the outside. Come in because I got receipts. I got them right here, and that's just, you know what I mean. So
That's what it
you know,
takes,
and that's why I
receipts.
was like, you know, that's just what it is. You know what I mean. You want to sit there and talk, watch from the outside, but when you invite them in with receipts, they're not there. They're where they at. You know what I mean? So that right there, I was like, go, Lady Prada. She was like, come through. I got
Yeah.
all the fucking receipts for your ass.
Well, and the fact that, he kept texting me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, come on in. I got the receipts. And no, I'm not coming in. You better, be thankful that I'm not blowing your spot up. You think you can blow my spot up?
Yeah.
That was
People are
so crazy. I was so
difficult.
glad you both were there to see it though, because, sometimes it's like you tell people things and, they're like, this could have happened or maybe it didn't. But I
It
mean, this was
didn't,
just
yeah.
so crazy. And it's like, you two saw it.
Yo,
It
we thought
happened.
it was on live. I was at work like, but no, that was
Yeah.
crazy. And like I said, you know what I mean? He was afraid because yeah, you have the receipts. And that's what happens
Yeah.
when a person has receipts and the other one that's just sitting there saying what they want to say or doing what they want to do, of course they're not going to come in and confront you. You know what I mean? You're on live. Why aren't you going in there live and saying this is what the hell I heard or this is what it is or
Right.
whatever? But don't go hiding behind another screen and then just try to blow your spot up because that's not going to work. There's receipts right here. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's it. But, again, it's, in that particular case, I was judged as being a kind person, which in this person's mind also meant I was a weak person. So, just people judge on everything. It's just, I think, like inherent,
Yeah.
with what we
It's a
do on a daily
judgmental
basis.
world. It
It's a very
definitely is a
judgmental
judgmental
world.
world.
Yeah. And like you said at the beginning, you never know what somebody is going through. And so you should always lead with kindness. And if somebody,
Yeah.
has been crappy to you, either just ignore them or, whatever, because we can only control our own actions.
Right.
But, people are going through stuff every single day. So, maybe that person's going to snap at you, just because you happen to be, right time, right place, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You never know what somebody's going through. You guys, treat people with kindness. And if you don't have to like everybody in this world. There's,
right.
Yeah.
you can't, it's just like putting six girls in one room to live and six girls in a house like bad girls. You cannot have all
Too
those
catty.
personalities like each other. But there's no, you know what I
Nope.
mean? There's no reason for you to even, you know what I mean? Move on, get on with yourself, and that's what's called being an
Yeah.
adult, y'all. Leave
Hmm.
that for the children. You know what I mean? Be an adult and, you know, and that's what it is. And it's hard because, in school, it's very hard for children to go through the things they go through. That's why I asked you is because, none of my kids gotten bullied, but they did stick up for a lot of people that got bullied because I've always taught them, you know what I mean? Don't ever let somebody get bullied in your presence. You know what I mean? That's not cool. You never know what their situation is. These kids don't ask to be in the situations that they're in, especially coming from the town that I live in with a lot of poverty. You know what I mean? They don't got good clothes. They don't got name brand shit like you guys do. So, you know what I mean? So don't judge a book by its cover. You never know what they're going through. And there was a couple of years later, this girl was getting bullied, and her mom found her unalive because she took her own self because she was getting bullied so much because of what she
Wow.
wore. They made fun of her because of her parents, what she wore, what she did this. And it just broke my heart that it comes down to the fact that people will actually do something like that because they feel that there's no way out. You know what I mean? And that happens
Well,
all over the country. It doesn't happen just here where I live. It happens everywhere. You know what I mean? So teach your kids to be kind, you guys. Teach your kids to love on everybody. You never know what the other
Absolutely.
kid's going through.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It starts in the home. Please teach your kids because nowadays I just saw on the news the other day an 11-year-old killed herself in the bathroom. Yeah, because of being bullied. So it's really, really striking our this generation of kids nowadays. So,
Yeah.
well, I think the difference is so, like, I used to, when I'd walk to the bus stop, there'd be some boys there. This is elementary school, and they'd go boom, boom, boom as I'm walking, right?
mhm.
But the thing about when I was in school is that the bullying ended at like 3 o'clock or whatever because nobody wanted to call somebody's home, have their parents answer the phone, and then, bully them over the phone. But now with social media and with kids all having cell phones and things like that, it's like it can go on and on and on and on throughout, the entire evening. So it's like nonstop at that point. And I could see how, because when you're that age, everything is dramatic and blown out of proportion, the biggest thing, so I could see if somebody is, getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, they might feel like that's their only way out. And that it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and it's just so awful that these kids do that to other kids. And you're right, it starts in the home. You teach your kids to be kind.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always, and I told my kids, you don't gotta like that person. You don't gotta, you don't gotta be best friends with them. You don't even gotta be friends with them. But if you see something, don't let that shit happen.
Hmm.
And my kids did, you know what I mean? And there's a couple situations that's, we don't have enough time for all the situations that, they had help out with situations because they've done a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And but like I said, it starts in the home as a parent. Teach your kids to be kind regardless. You never know. The kids growing up don't have any control of the situations they get themselves into. Like going to school
Right.
with, not no name brand clothes, or not new
Yeah.
clothes when the school starts, or no backpacks, or shoot one pair of shoes for the whole year, or hand me downs. You never know. You know what I mean? What's going on in the home, or what the kids are going through. You know what I mean? So try to be kind. You know what I mean? Like I used to tell my kids, you don't got to be friends. You don't got to be best friends. You don't got to be besties. You know what I mean? But don't let someone get bullied like that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
99.9% no one's gonna say that to you. So why would you let someone say it to them?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
In school, I went through a situation where I regret to this day. Like I did bully someone, Don't come for me. I did one time. And as I got, it stuck with me. It bothered the hell out of me. And I wish I could go back and just tell that person how sorry I was. I was an adolescent. I was a little kid. You know what I mean? And we do things. We do. We all done things as a young child, as a young kid, especially with other friends, it just, and that's one thing that sticks in my head. And I think that's why for a long time I've always taught my kids not to bully nobody, because that right there bothered me my whole life, why I bullied that girl, you know what I mean? And it got to the point
Mm-hmm.
where I was physical with her, you know what I mean? And like I said, I grew up regretting that, you know what I mean? Like after the moment I did that, and that was the only time. I never did it after that, but it bothered me. It bothered me a lot because I judged this girl on her everything, the way she looked, her hair, her, everything. I was like, you're ugly, and you know what I mean? And and I regret that. And like I said, if there was ever a moment in life for me to get a chance to apologize, that would be one person that I would say I really, really genuine apologize. I should have never done that, but and I've never done it after that because it wasn't right. It wasn't okay. You know what I mean? And if you
Yeah,
feel that it's
definitely.
okay, then there's something wrong. And like, like I
Yeah.
said, I did
Right.
that one time and I felt wrong. It was wrong. And I know it was wrong. And the girl ended up moving schools like after I got suspended for a whole week. But
Oh
you know
my
what I mean?
God.
She came back for a day and saw me and was like, nope, I'm leaving. And she left the school. And I never knew anything about this girl ever again after that. But I knew it was wrong after the fact when I thought about it. Maybe for the whole week I was suspended. It was wrong. I should have never did it. I should have never did it. And I think I was just, I don't know what it was. I was just, and it wasn't trying to show off in front of nobody. It was just, I judged her. And that's why I said judgment is strong, because I judged her by the way she looked, by the way she dressed. And then come to find out her mom was disabled. She was in a wheelchair. And that really killed me when her mom had to pick her up from the school after I got suspended, and seeing her mom come up there. So that right there killed me because of the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, dang, I just did all this to this girl for no reason. No reason.
For
There was
no
no reason.
reason.
No, it was for no reason. It wasn't, and I admit my wrongs, and like I said,
Yep.
I apologize, and I really don't like talk about it, but it affected me in the long run, like saying like I'll never do that again. I'll never just do that, and that's why I've always taught my kids, like when they were in school, like don't do that. That's not okay. We have a conscience, and it's not okay. But
But see,
Absolutely.
maybe you needed to go through that, in order to be the person that you are now, because you went through that and you were like, you know what? This doesn't feel good. I don't feel good. I feel bad. And it has stuck with you this whole time. Perhaps
Hmm.
there was another path where maybe, you didn't feel guilty about it and stuff. Like I always kind of think about that stuff. Like, okay, because I regret a lot of things I did. I was a
Yeah, of
stupid
course.
teenager. I ran away. I
We
did,
all
all
were.
sorts of stupid things.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, maybe I needed to learn a lesson here, that's going to help me in the long run, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't
So maybe that was a lesson I had to learn, and it was a
know.
it was a it was it was a sucky lesson. I mean, not a sucky lesson, but on my part, I should have never did it. Like I said, I regretted it. I never did it again. I've always looked out for other people. Even when I was in school, I always gave them the benefit of the doubt, regardless of what was going on in their situation. But at the same time, like I say, I watch how people move. So if I don't like you, I just don't like you. You know what I mean? I just won't talk
Right.
about you. I won't be your friend. I just,
Yeah.
I like to just cut people off and just be like, you know what? You know, I'm not going to sit there and be that bully. I'm not going to sit there and, do all that. I just rather not talk to that person and call it a day. You know what I mean? So I guess that was a lesson that I did learn from this outcome of that situation. Thank God it happened while I was younger. I was only like in the sixth
Right.
grade, I think, or something like that. Never forget it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But it took me. It stood with me forever. So
Yeah, and it
I'm
Yeah.
usually
grateful
does.
that it's cover.
It usually does stay with you forever, which is the horrible part about it.
Yeah.
But
And you're an amazing person now. So, again, it's like the butterfly effect, every little thing that we do, could have this major impact
yeah,
on other things. So it's like, that was a building block that formed, I think, who you are today. And who you are today is you stand up for, people who are being bullied. You've taught your kids that. So, it
And I hate it, girl. I hate
it
it.
went
I hate bullying. I hate it. And I hate it with the passion that
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, damn, like you were that one person that one time. And I really did a lot to this girl. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I would go out, we would, go. She didn't live like that far. So at nighttime we would go to her house and totally her house. And I did, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm embarrassed. I was a 16-year-old, but I'm embarrassed. But those are things that I say that it stuck with me to this day, and I hate it. I can't stand it. Even when I'm like, I'm like anti-bullying forever. Like, you know what I mean? That's just not who I am. That's not who, and people that are adults and still do it, they got a problem. You know what I mean?
I
A
don't
big
understand the
problem.
adults that are still doing it. That's what gets me. I understand when you're an adolescent, our brains aren't fully formed at that point. We're learning the ins and outs of the social situations and stuff. Like, I get it. You're a kid at that point, but these adults that are going around bullying people, and it's like, why?
It's a
Don't you
mental
have
issue
anything
thing.
better to do?
It's a mental issue thing.
Yeah.
Like they really need therapy, honestly. Listen, therapy
Mm-hmm.
is not bad. Everybody needs therapy. But
It,
I feel like adults that do it, they definitely need to go through therapy.
or dig deep
Yeah.
within themselves and find out what is
Yeah.
that's triggering their self to act like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Because there's something
Right.
deep down inside that you're probably going through that's triggering
Hmm.
that effect. You know what I mean? Like I said, we
Mm-hmm.
all have a conscience. We know what's right. We know what's wrong, especially as an adult. You know what I mean? So, knowing that that's wrong and you're feeling good about it, something's deeper down inside. Either you were bullied when you were younger and you think it's okay to do it now that you're older. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I never.
Well, I mean, that's another thing is that, the longer you get away with doing something, the more okay it is to you. You've been this way
Yeah.
for all this time. The likelihood that you're going to change now, because again, you've gotten away with it this whole time.
Hmm.
So you're not going to change now. It's a shame.
No,
Yeah.
it is a shame. That is a big shame because people should know better as an adult. Or you should learn, but
Yeah.
as you're growing up, you should learn these things. I mean, these are simple things. Don't bully,
And the
Right.
don't talk
sad
about
about it is that
others.
that's why it triggers down to their kids, because
Hmm.
they
Yeah,
they
the
lived
kids
their
are a
whole life thinking it was
reflection.
okay, so they teach their kids that it's okay when that's really not it. You know what I mean?
That is
It's not
correct.
okay.
And
Hmm.
kids are our reflection of us. So, I mean,
Right.
if your kids are out there doing these things, they're kids. Their brains are not mentally fully developed. So, it's a reflection on you. So,
Well, it's like a lot of times you hear when there was domestic violence in the home, right? And the husband
Mhm.
was beating on the wife. And then, years later, the son is doing the same thing to another woman. It's like, that's what they saw. That's what they
yeah,
learned,
They think it's
of
that
okay.
course.
it's okay. Right.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, like, what do we do with these people? Like, how do you retrain them to understand that to live in a civilized society, that's not okay. And again, lead with kindness. Like, what do we do to solve this problem?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's just the society we live in, and now we have
Hmm.
social media where people could sit at home and do the bullying over a screen or through
Yeah.
these messages and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's just the world we live in, and it's just gotten worse with social media, being able to be a whole different person than you really are in person. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you give this persona of who you are online, but then in real person, is that who you really are? You know?
Right.
But have you noticed the ones that usually talk about other people or bully other people are people without photos? They're
Without
people
what?
without pictures. Pictures.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, because
They
those are
have,
their trash accounts that they don't care that they get banned. It's just,
right.
they make those accounts to troll people.
or
So, you know,
make the accounts to spy on people.
That
yes,
part.
that is a,
I
I
really
think
don't
we
have the
all have
energy.
it.
You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, if I don't talk to you and I don't, if I blocked you or unfollowed you, whatever the case may be, who cares? I don't have the energy to go fucking see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't. Like, for
Yeah.
real, I don't. Believe me when I say it, and I honest to God on my kids, I don't got time to go look for you and say, oh my God, let me see what so-and-so is doing. Oh, let me see what. No, there's a reason why I
Yeah.
have you in the distance. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like I guess everybody thinks differently. I don't know, but there's just, yeah.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is stop judging people. It's not nice. Let's all be kind to one another, support one another. Listen, we're out here, women supporting women, everybody supporting each other, and we'll all live in a better place. Trust me.
And
But
and that's the number one thing we need to do, y'all. Support each other, especially as women. Like, come on.
yeah.
There's no need to talk about other women. Support each other. You know what I mean? If someone's doing something and, go and support that person. Show them that, we're here supporting each other. Like Lady Prada, come on, you guys come through when she's doing her little thing. Come support her. Come support us while we're doing our thing. There's other creators on here that are starting off doing their thing. Go support them. Get their back. You know what I mean? We're
Mm-hmm.
women. We need to empower each other, not talk about and how you say it, diminish each other. You know what I
Diminish.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
Diminish.
don't belittle each
Yeah.
other. Lift each other up. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Well, with all that
Yeah.
said, I love everyone's point of view. I think we all have good points of views. Um, so we had asked Lady Prada to do a part of her rapping on here. I'm so excited to hear your little part of rapping. So whenever you're ready,
I
just let me know.
All right.
Oh, okay, she got to drink her water first.
Water being Diet Coke.
No, not good for you. Not good for you.
Moscato.
Probably a little water.
All right.
Do your thing, girl.
All these little basic bitches, yeah, they hungry for money. They can't take nothing from me. Yeah, they looking real funny. They love to harass, but see, I take it in stride. Roll up on your crew with just one of my guys. I'll snatch your chain and your purse, make you beg for a hearse. Yeah, I hit where it hurts. I'm a gift and a curse. I see your little comments and they fail to impress. I'll knock the wind from your chest as you take your last breath. You're probably on meth. Yeah, I fight to the death. I'm the host in hip hop. See, I ain't just a guest. You don't know who I am? You better figure it out. All the hate, I stay above it. I don't care what you shout. While you're chasing the clout, I'm here living my dream. I'll nightmare your life and stream it right on TT. See, these haters gonna hate till they know who I am. I just treat them like spam, toss away the whole cam. I'm built for a war. Yeah, I'll take you all on. Shred your life into pieces like your some Parmesan. I leave all my comments on so you can look like some fools. Kids are internet thugging, but they're really some tools. I've been trained by the best. I'm a master at flows. Yeah, you know how it goes when you're dealing with hoes. When they see my co-sign, they'll be running all scared. Get out the sun, throw the tree. Fucking shade is right there. Bitch, breathe. I fucked that ending up.
Let's
That was
go.
so good. That was so
Thank you
Thank
good.
so much.
you. We'll blame it on the wine.
Let's go. Thank you
Excellent.
so much, Lady Prada. We appreciate you. You guys give it
Yes,
up for Lady Prada. This is
that
our
was
special guest.
excellent.
She's one of our first guests. So we appreciate you for coming on here. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We love it. We're here for it.
I love it. That was a
Well,
good,
thank
and
you.
it was good. It was good with our theme.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This is the first time I've been invited on a podcast. This is the first time I've, rapped on a podcast like this. So thank you all. It was great.
It
Thank you.
was
And hopefully we
great.
can have you back another time. So
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
anytime.
Work
You know where to find me.
on another
thank
piece.
you.
In fact, work on another piece and then come back to us. We love it. Definitely.
I've got, I've written so much over the past week. I'm
Hmm.
ready. I've got in my car, I've got my
Good.
my microphone stand and my setup and everything. So I'm gonna be
Awesome.
recording in a little bit.
That's
Okay,
awesome. I
let's
So
love
go.
it. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I
thanks.
appreciate your friendship. Thank you for hopping on. I think I'm humbled and honored to have you on our podcast. So thank you for
Aw.
that. And definitely, if you missed the podcast today, it will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow, not tonight. Um, But if you're still on TikTok, you can go on boxes. Christina always opens boxes after our live. So you can go and chat it up with her on the podcast. I probably will be on her boxes, but I will be muted because I'm not home. So yeah, anything else you want to say, Christina?
No, we thank you again, Lady Potter, for coming on here. Like I said, thank you so much. You have been a big support of us, and we love you so much. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you so much. And let's go. Like I said, yeah, I will open boxes for a little while, guys. The game is still on, I think. So,
oh gosh.
So, but it's kind of not loud right now, but yeah, I will be opening boxes. You guys got any questions, anything you guys want to talk, come up and talk on boxes about our topic. You guys are more than welcome. Boxes will be open. You guys can come up and talk about what we talked about. If you guys have, want to have, say anything. Like I said, you're more than welcome. I'm going to probably do them for a little while, not too long, you guys, because I have some other things going on later on. But we can do this for a couple hours, maybe 2 hours, you guys, at most. But yeah, if you guys want to come in and just chop it up, talk about the time you've been judged or time you witnessed someone being judged, and anything that you guys want to talk about, hey, your boxes are more than welcome. You guys can come up and talk about it.
Absolutely. And make sure that you follow Lady Prada.
Yes.
She goes live as well. And we always love to support her. And she's a great host. So make sure you join her live. She's a lot of fun and she has a lot of energy. She's not boring like me. I'm a little
you're
more
not
boring. Boring side. But oh my gosh, stop.
Hello.
Can you share? You did.
I know, then you know.
Her and her tacos, I can't. She's a taco maniac.
I love tacos.
Taco. Me too.
Hey,
She adores tacos. It's
not Taco Tuesday, it's taco every day.
Taco Tuesday, exactly. Go ahead and end this podcast here. And once again,
thank you all again
for watching. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you, everybody who's in here watching. Thank you, everybody who's outside watching and didn't want to come in. We appreciate you too.
We don't hate you. We're not judging you if you're outside watching.
No, we're not. We're really not.
We're not. I told you I went through my face. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Ladies, have a good night.
All right, bye. Thank you. Bye.